Welcome. This video is 1.4, the even problems. So part B. Remember, we are doing order of operations, or PEMDAS. Parentheses, exponents, multiply and divide from left to right, add and subtract from left to right. If we look at number 2, we're going to start with the parenthesis. Now remember, inside the parentheses, PEMDAS restarts. So you want to go through again. Any more parentheses? Nope, just the one. Exponents? No. So now we're going to do multiply and divide. We have a multiplication here, and we have a multiplication here. You go from left to right. So this multiplication is going to give us 0.5. And I'm going to carry everything else down. Alright, so we did our first multiplication. Now we're going to do our second multiplication. So 5 times 0.05, that should give us 0.1, right? That's going to give us 0.25. All of our other information is going to carry down. No more multiplication. So now we are going to add and subtract. We go from left to right. So we have 1.75 plus 0.5. That's going to give us 2.25. And then this plus 0.25 carries down. We're still working in the parentheses. That's why we're not multiplying yet, because we're still in the P of PEMDAS. Now we have 2.25 plus 0.25. That's going to give us 2.5. We're down to a single number, so we can drop the parentheses. We're going to multiply this by 24. .5 times 24 gives us 60. So at first this problem might have looked a little bit intimidating, but break it down part by part and you should be okay. Okay, so now we have one main parenthesis. Looks like it goes all the way from here, all the way to here. Inside that parentheses, remember PEMDAS resets. So we go back, is there any more parentheses? And in this case, the answer is yes. So we have to do the innermost parentheses, and we're going to work our way out. Our first parenthesis, 8 times 1.95. That's going to give us 15.6. Now that this is a single number, I can drop the inner parenthesis, but I'm still going to keep this outer parenthesis. Carry everything else down. Okay, so we still have another parenthesis inside our main parenthesis. So that's what we do next. We have 3 times 2.95. That's going to give us 8.85. Carry down everything else. All of this is still in parentheses. Okay, so now no more parentheses, no exponents, no multiplying or dividing. So now we can add and subtract from left to right. So we have 15.6 plus 8.85. That's going to give us 24.45. The plus 10.95 carries down. Now we can finally add these two together, and after that we'll have a single number, which means we can drop our parentheses. That's going to give us 35.4 multiplied by our 1.06. That's going to give us 37.524. Not a super nice number, but in real life, not all numbers are going to be integers. You're going to get a lot of decimals when working with real math problems. Also, it does not specify how many digits to round to. My suggestion is not to round. Go all the way out to at least 4. Then typically 4 is sufficient. So since this is 3, I'm not going to do any rounding. I would only round if there was a 5th digits, so a 4th and then a 5th. Then I could round to 4 decimal places. Unless we're talking about money, or they tell us to round, or some other indication that we should round. Alright, looking at this, we're going to start with the parentheses. Inside the parentheses, we have an exponent, so we do that before adding. So 2 squared is 4. Carry everything down. Students often ask, Mr. Woody, can I do multiple steps at once? My suggestion is no. The reason is order of operations can be pretty tricky, and you might accidentally do something out of order. For example, subtract this 10 or multiply before you're supposed to. So just do it one step at a time. You're going to get the right answer. Alright, so we have 3 plus 4, which is 7. Okay, so now we can drop the parentheses if we want to. No more parentheses, no exponents. So now we can multiply and divide from left to right. Since this multiplication comes first from left to right, we do it before the division. So we have 12 times 7. That will give us 84. Carry everything down. 84 divided by 2 will give us 41. And then finally, 41 minus 10 gives us 31. Number 8. Again, we have one large set of parentheses, and we have smaller parentheses embedded. Sometimes they call that nested parentheses. No worries, we'll start with the innermost parenthesis and work our way out. That's going to give us 12 divided by 3, which is 4. The exponent carries down, as does everything else. Alright, so we're still operating inside this innermost parenthesis. We have another parenthesis. Inside this parenthesis, we have a division and we have an exponent. We do the exponent first. So 3 squared is 9. Now realistically, you probably could go ahead and make this 2, and probably could go ahead and make this 16, but I'm making a point here. One step at a time, do PEMDAS. You're always going to get the right answer. So now we have 18 divided by 9, which is 2. Since there's no more operations, we can drop the parenthesis. We have a single number. But we have to keep our outer parentheses. Alright, so go from left to right. We'll do this parenthesis first. Inside this parenthesis, we have a 4 squared. We're going to do that before subtracting. Now we can subtract. 16 minus 2 is 14. We're down to a single number, so we could drop the parentheses if you want to. So now we're going to go to this next parenthesis. 4 divided by 2 is 2. Carry down the 14. Finally, we have 14 times 2, which is 28. Again, when you get more comfortable with this, you can do a couple shortcuts. You could probably go ahead and knock this one out. You could probably go ahead and do this exponent. But my suggestion, one step at a time until you really get the hang of it. Alright, so we have this first parenthesis. That's going to give us 6 plus 3, which will be 9. And it's a single number, so I'm going to go ahead and drop the parentheses. Carry down the exponent. Carry everything else down. So now, order of operations, we should do this parenthesis next. Again, realistically, probably fine if we do this. I'm just making a point. Inside this parenthesis, we have to divide first. And then we'll do the subtraction. So 10 divided by 5 is 2. Carry down the 9, carry down the subtraction. Alright, so inside this parenthesis we have 9 minus 2. That will give us 7. Single number, so we can drop the parentheses. Carry down to 9 squared. Alright, so now, no more parentheses, we do have an exponent. 9 squared is 81. Carry down to plus 7. 81 plus 7 is 88. Hopefully you had fun with order of operations, learned something new. Now apply your skills to the backside. Have a great day.